Thank you for joining me, and I appreciate the introduction. My name's Scott Mader, CEO and co-founder here at AseptiScope. Let me spend 10 minutes telling you a little bit about what we're doing here in San Diego. Now, this group worked together, my colleagues and I, to drive the clinical adoption of novel biomarkers at BioSite. This is well chronicled, where we beat, in this data monitor slide, analyst forecast by an exponent, driving sales to 300 million and an exit of 1.6 billion to Inverness. This was driven off a three-phase development model that drives demand and ultimately guidelines for a new standard of care. At AseptiScope, we're now using the same market generation model to introduce the first-of-a-kind touch-free system. But first, a word from our sponsors.
The invention of the stethoscope in 1816 was an enduring medical milestone. Today, the stethoscope remains the most utilized medical technology, being applied so frequently it is aptly referred to as the clinician's third hand. Yet while hand hygiene is the cornerstone of infection control and patient care today, the clinician's third hand, the stethoscope, passes germs from patient to patient. Calling on a new medical milestone, the Discover system from AseptiScope, the world's first touch-free stethoscope barrier dispensing system. A clean glove for the clinician's third hand. For more information about the Discover system, visit AseptiScope.com today.
Force in the U.S. is over 5 billion touch points a year for stethoscopes with patients. Globally, it is over 100 billion touch points in the total accessible market. Our three-phase development program that drives demand starts with product development. Kelly Powers has been leading the charge. Kelly's my co-founder and Six Sigma Black Belt supply chain expert and runs our manufacturing program. This unique technology carries with it over 40 clinical attributes that the market has told us will solve the problem, and it drives our organic patent family and the quality manufacturing process we use today to sell the system. Our clinical development program is led by Frank Peacock. Frank is a professor of medicine at Baylor. He is an emergency trained and cardiology boarded physician with over 800 publications in the peer review. Frank has developed an extraordinary clinical library that's available online with peer-reviewed publications from experts in the field demonstrating original clinical trial data showing the superiority of this technology. This means that all of those attributes designed in the system are now proven and validated in controlled research. This has garnered the attention of the medical community in a very significant way. Now, market development, the third in the triad. Market development is led and curated by Kevin Burns and Anthony Pham on the commercial side, and they've done a tremendous job. Through digital promotion, professional education programs over the course of the last few years, we have raised the octave and awareness across the industry. Chronicled that progress around the country from 2017 to the point where we hit the pandemic in 2020. And in 2023, we've raised it to 78% of the healthcare community's awareness of this problem and solution. This clinical demand generation model has worked beautifully for us at AseptiScope. We are only lacking the CDC guidelines, and let me tell you about that. Recently in a high-impact journal, medical journal, a new publication calling on the CDC to elevate guidelines hit the peer-reviewed literature. It suggested that the CDC needs to contemporize its guidance for stethoscope hygiene to that of hand hygiene, and that in fact the use of disposable barriers needs to be considered a new standard. Sure enough, shortly after that in November, the CDC announced new guidelines that will include elevating stethoscope hygiene requirements to between each patient encounter, and they noted that dedicated equipment like the Discover system can be used to reduce transmission. Now, it's a great compliment that a small company from San Diego's scientific officer is invited to meet with the CDC. In June, we did exactly that. Frank Peacock was in constant scientific dialogue, and occasionally we came in with commercial angles on how our product is being produced so that the CDC can understand everything about the technology as they go about setting the first new guidelines since 2007. Now, Kelly and Kevin Delsignore in engineering have been getting ready as our lot size have been going up and transferring to larger manufacturing partners who can scale with us. This quality process is underway and transferred. So now we can produce technology and they can produce alongside us as we scale for this demand market. We have been out selling and promoting. This is our first full year of promotion, 2024, and I want to introduce you to how we're doing it. Online digital media program curated by marketing manager Anthony Pham has done a great job of filling the top of that funnel with over hundreds of thousands of healthcare community folks weighing in and thousands more every month. So with a world of folks using stethoscopes on a daily basis all over the country and all over the world, where do we start with this very simple to use technology? We go to those who are caring for the most vulnerable populations. It's no coincidence that cancer care leaders in infection control have already published a position paper in the peer-reviewed literature calling for a new adoption of stethoscope hygiene requirements. Leaders from top cancer centers around the country have weighed in on what is the new normal for the clinician's third hand and the Discover system. Value for patients, value for healthcare, and value for our investors. MD Anderson, the top cancer center in the United States, based in Houston, has purchased our systems to equip their full emergency department and clinical decision units. This gives us not only a wonderful partnership with MD Anderson for the cancer community, but has elevated our awareness in cancer centers around the country. Another target that's critical are the VA medical centers, the largest integrated health system in the United States, and we are currently available and selling and integrating with these VAs. The USA Today feature article from earlier this year spoke directly to VA infection control officer at the Memphis VA and why they brought the Discover system in. They have since been purchasing the Discover system clean cassettes that go into the dispensers with routine and are expanding their use on a monthly basis. VA medical affairs groups from Orlando, Florida to San Diego, California are now in discussions with us in various stages of evaluation or commercialization. Purchases are now following evaluations, but that's going to change. People are going directly to purchase. You can see that our online e-commerce store is available now, and we have institutions that are for many small community hospitals and clinics, buying online through our e-commerce portal will be something that happens without our direct engagement. We will just drop ship to them and they will install and go. This will be the new normal, but in the meantime, what we're doing is we are doing the process this way. We activate new accounts in a unit. We integrate those as standard practice, and then we expand throughout the system. Let me give you an example. UCSD is part of the University of California Health System. They've gotten off to a quick start by placing the Discover system in each hand hygiene station. Francesca Toriani has told the story. We started at La Jolla Urgent Care, moved to Bankers Hills Cardiovascular Center. Now we're up at their big shiny Sulpizio Cardiovascular Center in La Jolla. We now have just completed our evaluation at Jacobs Medical Center's CVICU, and we plan to expand throughout San Diego, of course, throughout the system statewide, where tens of millions of patients are cared for in the UC system. This includes areas where we have the product currently at UC Irvine and areas where we're in discussion at UC San Francisco, UC Davis, and UCLA. In an unsatisfied market with over 100 billion touch points a year, a market forecast of $550 million is actually not much at all. We plan on hitting $1 million this year, and the CDC guidelines will drive us way beyond that and shoot the hockey stick up to 300 million in the US and another 250 outside the US in the next 5 years. My name is Scott Mader. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions regarding our portfolio of products, the Discover system, strategy, or exit, etc., please contact me directly. And Anna, I'll turn that back to you. Thank you so much.